And on this video, we're gonna be taking a look at the 70mm A810 and the 70mm Omni 4K dashcam. Both of them are coming up for sale, so on this video I'm gonna compare the features of each, that way you can decide which is the right one for you. And I have also reviewed these dashcams individually in a lot more detail. If you guys want to see that full review video, I'll put a link to that in the description down below. I'm also gonna put a link in the description to each one of these dashcams in case you want to get either one of them. These dashcams share a couple of very interesting features, but they also have some interesting differences. Now if you just want the quick short answer is the A810 I think is gonna be the best choice for those who are looking for a dual channel 4K dashcam that doesn't break the bank. This is more discreet in my opinion than this one, even though they are somewhere about the same size. When the A810 is mounted on the car, I think you can probably hide it a little bit better than this guy, because this one kind of sticks out a little bit more. And if you're looking for the best possible image quality and you have no restriction in your budget, then the Omni 4K is gonna be the way to go. Now it is larger, but that is because the bottom camera can actually turn, which enables some very interesting features which are not gonna be found on the A810. But now let's get down to the actual details between these things. Now first off, let's start with image quality. Both of these dashcams are using the same image sensor for the front camera, the Sony Starburst IMX678. Now both of them have really good quality because the IMX678 sensor is a flagship image sensor. However, the important thing on the Omni 4K is that it's actually recording at 30 frames per second, where on the A810 it's only recording at 25 frames per second. Now the more frames per second you have, the more fluid the video is gonna be. Basically you're capturing more images, and because you have a higher frame rate on the Omni 4K, you'll probably have a better chance of capturing fast moving objects like license plates, where on the A810, even though you got really nice 4K video, you are limited to 25 frames per second. That being said, if the main priority for you is capturing license plates, both of them can run at 4K in 60 frames per second if you disable the rear camera. Now running at 60 frames per second can definitely give you the edge in capturing license plates at the expense of the second channel. Both of these dashcams also support GPS, which can record your speed and coordinates, and also both of them support park monitoring with the optional hardwire kit. Now this could be triggered by motion detection, but because the camera is fixed facing forward, it's only gonna capture forward and that's it. Where on the Omni 4K, as soon as it picks up movement, it attempts to track the subject, and the subject can potentially move to the side of the vehicle, and the dashcam is gonna make an attempt to follow it. So you definitely have increased coverage on the Omni 4K because of that 360 camera. What's also different is the rear camera. From the outside they look about the same, but they're actually using two different image sensors. On the Omni 4K, they're using the Sony IMX662, which is a Sony Starburst 2 sensor. And for the A810, they're using the SC200AI image sensor. Now, Starburst 2, in my opinion, is right now the leading sensor, and you can kind of tell that it does have an edge over the sensor being used on the A810. The other big difference is gonna be memory card capacity. The A810 supports up to 256 gigabytes of memory, which is gonna be good for roughly about 12 hours of video with both the front and the rear camera enabled. Now 12 hours of video is quite a lot because you're not driving 12 hours continuously. Those 12 hours are likely broken up over a couple of several days. However, there are some people that do want to carry a ton more video, and that's where this guy has advantage because it supports up to 512 gigabytes of memory, which is good for 24 hours of video with the front and the rear camera enabled. Now again, remember, 24 hours, it's not like you drove for 24 hours straight. It is broken over the course of several days, so 24 hours, double the amount of video on the A810 if you really want to capture that much with you. Now there are people who successfully use smaller memory cards, as small as 32 gigabytes of memory, again because the incident that they're looking to capture is normally going to take place over a matter of seconds. But with the price of memory dropping and also the comfort knowing that you can carry hours of video with you, it is nice to know that we are able to run a larger memory card on these guys, either 256 on the A810 or 512 on the Omni 4K. The next important difference between both of them is whether they use a capacitor or a battery. Now the A810 actually uses a battery and the Omni 4K has has upgraded to a capacitor. Now, the battery on dashcams is not like it's a rechargeable camera. The battery is used to close out the video files in the event of sudden power loss, which can happen in the process of a car crash, and also to keep some of the settings in the dashcam's memory. However, the capacitor has the advantage over the battery that it has a longer lifespan and typically can sustain higher temperatures. So if you live in an area that has a lot of extreme temperatures, the capacitor is gonna be the way to go. The other big difference is gonna be the Wi-Fi and NAV functionality. Now, both of them support the app, and it can be used to change the settings of the dashcam and also to download the videos that are on here. However, the Omni 4K supports 5 GHz Wi-Fi, which is faster than the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi found on the A810. Now, that difference in speed, you're gonna feel it when you're downloading the videos. It's not like it's super slow to download the videos, but this will be faster on the Omni 4K. However, I personally always just take the memory card out and just transfer those videos to my PC. I find that even faster than either one of these download methods. So if you're not planning to use the app, this doesn't really apply to you. But again, if you're planning to use the app as the main way to get the videos, 5 GHz is gonna be the way to go. Now, the last two features that are different between these dashcams are features that I think for some people matter and for some people don't. I personally don't use either one of these features, and that is the voice control and the ADAS feature. Starting off with voice control, the A810 does not support voice control, where the Omni 4K does support voice control. Now, I'll tell you why I don't use voice control. If I enable voice control, I notice that many dashcams are accidentally triggered by false commands. And by that, I mean that if I'm driving around and having a conversation with somebody, or if the radio is playing, some of those noises could be misinterpreted as commands, and next thing you know, the dashcam is doing something that you didn't command it to. And that is because voice control in dashcams normally do not have an activation keyword the way that we have for things like our Alexa devices or our Google devices. In here, all of a sudden, if you hear something that sounds like a command, this thing is reacting to stuff. Now, I have not seen too many false triggering on the Omni 4K, but it's something you want to be aware of. Now, on the A810, that's why I don't really care if I don't get voice control, because I'm not planning to use it. Same with the ADAS. If you have a newer vehicle, it probably already has some kind of ADAS system where it'll tell you there is pedestrians in front of you or the vehicle in front of you has started to move away. So I don't use ADAS. But if you have an older vehicle and you want to have those kind of alerts where it tells you about like the traffic moving and those kind of driving assistance, then either one of these will let you do that if you enable the ADAS option. And before we move over to my final recommendations, let's take a look at some full screen driving video of each. And you may have noticed that there is less glare and reflection from the windshield on the Omni 4K, where there is some reflection on the A810. And that is because at the time of filming this driving video, I did not have access to a filter for the A810, where on the Omni 4K, I did have a circular polarizer filter on it. Now, they have a filter for the A810, so the reflection, expect that not to be there if you choose to use the filter. If you're not familiar with filters, this is a little piece of glass that you put in front of the dashcam lens, and it can improve the image quality by cutting reflections down and also increasing the saturation, which is why the colors on the Omni 4K look a little bit more saturated and more rich than on the A810. So overall, the Omni 4K is gonna be my choice for those who are looking for the best image quality and the best parking monitoring feature because of that motion tracking capability. And again, if you have no restrictions in budget. And what I mean by that is that currently the Omni 4K retails for about double the price of the A810. So the A810 is gonna be a really good value because you'll get it for about half the price of the Omni. So this is gonna be my choice for those who want good image quality, decent parking monitoring, and who are okay waiting a little bit longer to download some videos, especially if you take that memory card out of the dashcam to take them to your PC as opposed to using the app, then the 5 GHz advantage I don't think is much, and the price just makes this such an attractive bargain. And regardless of which one you choose, both of them are gonna support the upgrades such as the hardwire kit to enable park mode, the 4G hardwire kit to enable you to remotely access the dashcam, and both of them are gonna support the circular polarizer filter if you want to take that image quality even further by reducing glare and reflections. So I'll place a link in the description down below to both of these dashcams in case you want to get either one of them. And remember, I also have dedicated review videos for each. The link to those videos will also be found in the video description below. If you guys have any other questions regarding this, please put that in the comments also. And if you found any part of this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button to support the channel and stay tuned as I have a lot more dashcam videos coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.